Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to the Spurs-related podcast YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's Monday. Some of you might have the Monday blues, or some of you might have the Monday motivation, if you like, to talk all things Tottenham like ourselves. And of course, we're back for another week full of content with not only myself, not only Jack Burford, but we've got also one of the main men back in as well, Andre. So, lads, it's the full house tonight. Andre, I'll start with you. It's been a while, mate. How are you doing? I can't even talk. How have you been for the last week? Because obviously the Spurs-relatables have been asking where you're at.
Oh, it's been a busy one for me, but I'm glad to be back. Lots of Tottenham stuff been happening. I'm ready to talk about all these different predictions, our hopes and dreams, and then hopefully not get crushed as they normally do.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's hope so. As you can see from the title of the video today, we're going to be almost predicting where we're going to finish in the league and how we're going to do in all the competitions, as well as a couple of other things that Jack has prepared for us as well. But Jack, obviously, as well, after that watch-along, the video did incredibly well. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. 4,000 views and still going on that, which is absolutely crazy. Whether you tuned in for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or the whole thing, we really do appreciate it. But Jack, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, mate. A bit of a shame, obviously, with the result against Roma. But like I said, I think this is just a warm up, getting the system right, and then the real competition starts on Saturday against Southampton. So yes, no, I'm doing well. Looking forward to a video like today. Maybe a few things have changed after pre-season results. For me, I'm still pretty confident, and you're going to see that in my predictions today. But looking forward to chatting to yourself, Andre and James. Yeah, seeing what you're thinking, seeing if we're on the same wavelength.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. And there's a few people in already. I'm sure the numbers will grow as we go in, but really appreciate those early birds, if you like, that have joined us early. As always, Ayanami saying, we need to cook Jesse. COYS. I think that's a Breaking Bad reference. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's saying we need to basically do more business. And he's saying he missed Andre. So there you go, Andre. All of one people missing you. Not joking. I'm joking. Like I said, there was a few people saying, where were you last week? So there you go. United Spurs of America, first time tuning in. Big up. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Hopefully we do not disappoint. And Ellie's in here. Thanks, Ellie, for joining as always. She's saying, when are your super chats going on? So I'm in the process. So obviously we've done all the goals. We've done it a little while ago, but I'm in the process of doing you have to do all the forms for the YouTube AdSense and everything else. So I'm in the process of doing that. I anticipate hopefully in the next week or two, but yeah, hopefully very soon. Thanks for asking. Guys, let's just get into this. Let's get into the meat of the video straight away. And of course, there was some news around about 1 maybe 2 hours ago. So very, very new news, but also expected as well. It's been talked about for weeks, and that is, of course, Joe Rodon leaving on loan with an option to buy to Stade Rennes, who we did play in the Europa League last season, Europa Conference League. Andre, what are your thoughts on this, and do you want to quickly run down on the details?
Yeah, of course. So Joe Rodon, he stayed a couple of seasons here, and honestly, it's whatever. I mean, Joe Rodon, a guy, it was a signing that was followed up by the player that we were supposed to get, which was Skriniar. I mean, I feel bad for him. It's kind of one of those things where it's set up with all this pressure. It's like Skriniar, we missed out. We bring in this guy, nothing really happens, and now he's gone. So, he's on loan. It looks like that's it. It's a loan with an option to buy, and Tottenham is really looking for them to just pick up that option at the end of the season anyways. So by all means, Joe Rodon, good luck. That's my thoughts. Nothing much.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it's a shame that it hasn't really worked out, isn't it? Like, I think he is a top player. Like, of course, he's not really in the kind of Romero bracket. He's probably not even in the Eric Dyer bracket, but he's still young, and I think I would be sad to see. I'd be happy to see him do well, but I'd be sad that it was one of those that got away in terms of do we let him go and he ends up being an absolute, really, really brilliant player? Just because he didn't get a chance. But then again, he's had 3 or 4 managers that haven't really trusted what he does and haven't really backed him. Jack, what are your thoughts on this?
For me, I'm a bit different actually. I think it's a really smart move from Tottenham and Joe Rodon himself. I think moving to the French league will definitely gain him a lot of confidence, much needed game time, and I feel like obviously you could argue, but in most of our opinion, I think Tottenham are a much bigger team than Stade Rennais. To say he does have a fantastic season and he's got loads of confidence and he's attracting a lot of interest from Europe, he'd probably want to stay at Tottenham and prove his worth, because it doesn't mean, say he Stade Rennais want to pay the 20 million release clause, I think it is, or sorry, buy option we put in there. If he has a really strong season, we're going to want to keep him and he might want to stay, because for me, he's a very talented player, needs game time. I think even Jose Mourinho said to Lloris before he left, look after Joe Rodon, he's going to be a serious player. And I think even Conte said he's the natural backup to Dyer. And we've seen how well he performs for Wales. For me, he's a strong player. He will run through brick walls. And it just hasn't quite fell for him yet. And sometimes that happens in football. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing him have a string of games. We saw like teams like Roma, I think a few high-profile teams having an interest in a player like Joe Rodon. So I think once he has that game time, he might perform well and maybe he'll come back. For me, I think it's a win-win. 20 million euros is quite a good fee. Don't forget, we only bought him for about 12 million from Swansea. So we're making a profit, but we've also got the opportunity to see him getting that regular game time and then maybe coming back into the fold at Tottenham. So for me, I'm happy with this deal.
Okay, interesting. I mean, like you said, there is obviously an option for him to go and smash it, but then you probably say, well, Stade Rennes, they're probably going to spend that 20 million. If he's worth the money, then 20 million these days isn't an awful lot. Yes, Rennes aren't as big a club as us, but I feel like if he's their starting centre-back and he's part of their plans, then they probably will buy him. That's my thoughts.
But what I mean is, at the end of the day, it's still the player's decision. So if Joe Rodon doesn't want to leave, he doesn't have to. He could say, I want to prove my worth. There's a buy option, but if the player doesn't want to move, it's still up to Joe Rodon.
True, very true. Crocodile's in here. Big up, thanks, mate, for joining. He's saying Paul O'Keefe just said that Conte allegedly doesn't want Maddison. First thoughts are, I'm not surprised. And my second thoughts are, Paul O'Keefe is not a tier 1 source, although I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm also not saying he's right. So take it with a pinch of salt is what I would say. He is apparently an in the know. I do follow him on Twitter, but again, with all due respect, he's not a tier 1 source. But I can see this kind of being true. But it'd be interesting to see how it pans out. What do you think on this one, Andre?
I mean, Maddison would be a great player. It looks like we really need some creativeness in the midfield. But, at the end of the day, it's whatever Conte wants, to be honest. I think that's the biggest thing with him. He's very, very clear that if he doesn't want you, he'll let you know and then just get out. So if he doesn't want Maddison, I don't want to bring him to the club.
Exactly. He's saying Rodon and Tanganga worries me. Even if they didn't play much, we need to sign another centre-back because I don't think 5 centre-backs for a long season is enough. Maybe someone like De Vrij, cheap and short-term. Jack, what's your thoughts on this one?
De Vrij, yeah, I can see why. An experienced player, Inter Milan, pushed AC Milan all year last year, won the title before, worked with Conte. Yeah, for me, it's definitely not a bad option. I think we have got a few experienced heads now coming along with Lenglet. So for me, maybe we should go for a young player that we can see who's already got that quality caliber. But De Vrij's maybe a bit too old. I want to balance the experience with the quality. And I think maybe we should splash the cash on someone like maybe Wesley Fofana. We're talking being linked with Chelsea. For me, he'd be a fantastic player. Someone we can see in that Tottenham team for a long while. But then that's my opinion. I wouldn't be against the signing if things come out tomorrow saying we're interested in De Vrij.
Okay, interesting. Who knows how this window's going to pan out? At the end of the day, I think there's still 3 or 4 weeks left of the window. So there you go. A few more people are joining. Luke is on Facebook. Thanks, mate, for joining. Really appreciate it as always. Hope you're doing well. And we've also got Kev Williams in the building. Kev, really do appreciate you joining pretty much every stream. Very much a loyal Spurs-relatable. So really do appreciate that as well, mate. Hope you're doing well. And Ellie's saying we need creation, but a player who can be creative and score 15 plus goals from midfield or the wing. Do you know what, Ellie? I do agree with this and I don't, because we kind of do have goals around the team now. Like, it was relied on Son and Kane heavily a couple of seasons ago, even last year to an extent. But then Kulusevski came in. I reckon he's going to get 8 to 10 goals this season.
100%.
Richarlison's hopefully going to get, a similar kind of number. So the goals have been spread out. I do agree with the creative midfielder, so we have an option off the bench. But I wouldn't say we suddenly need goals. We have got a lot of goals in this team. What are your thoughts, lads?
Yeah. Sorry, Andre, but I totally agree. And I think most of our creativity nowadays actually comes from the wing. If you look at Kulusevski, he scored multiple goals, but the amount of assists and the pockets of space he got into slipping Kane and Son was brilliant last year. And I think you're going to see, if we don't sign a creative midfielder, I don't think it's because, for me, I really want one, just to add to squad depth, different formations, it confuses teams. But Kulusevski is going to provide a lot of creativity from the wings, and I think that's part of his role as a winger. So I don't think we need another winger. We've got Richarlison who can bring in the goals. Yes, another midfielder would be great, but I'm happy with our attack. I really think it's more bringing in another centre half, maybe to swap with Rodon, maybe someone who can come and replace Dyer or push Dyer, as I would normally say. But yeah, I wouldn't turn my nose up at a creative midfielder either.
I agree with this. I think that I've talked about this before when it comes about having different plans, right? Last season, unfortunately, we had plan A and nothing really after that. But Conte, being the crazy, amazing manager he is, got us to that top 4 spot with just plan A and plan A 2.0. But having different kinds of players in our squad allows for different kinds of formation depending on what the team is putting out, like the opposition. And it does confuse teams. And then they have to change things around. And if they don't have the depth, that's where our advantage takes over. So, yeah, honestly, I would think that a creative midfielder would be a perfect player to bring in. Obviously, it'd be a little difficult to find one that can have such a huge output and would be okay with just not playing week in, week out, or starting every time. But at the same time, yeah, center back is a big priority. This guy plays with 3 at the back. We cannot just start the season with 5 center backs.
The only thing where, sorry to butt in, guys, but this is where I kind of feel like I'm kind of gutted that we didn't get Eriksen, just because I feel like he fills that role quite well. He seems like the player who might not want to play every game. His creativity is amazing, and he looks like he can play in that double pivot. So for me, I'm kind of thinking, on a free, why don't we just pay him the wages? Because if we look at the market now, there's not many players that are willing, that wouldn't cost such a high fee. Like James Maddison, we're talking about £60 million for a player that maybe Conte, like Paul O'Keefe reported, not saying it's 100% true, that we wouldn't want him. So for me, I feel like Eriksen could be a missed opportunity, because we've already seen he's impressed in pre-season at Man United.
I just don't think they wanted to get into a bidding war for him in terms of who's paying him the most, because the fact that they probably offered him a good chunk of money, and he's like, I'm going to think about it. They were like, we're not wasting our time with that. And while that whole, saga was happening, we signed like 3 other players in the meantime. So right. I think, Eriksen would have been, honestly, 100%, if he was down to come to Tottenham, like that's where his heart was set, I would be so happy. That is like a specific type of player that changes your tactics when you need to change it up. But, if he just kind of wanted to see what his options were and he was taking his time, oh well, I'm sure we'll find someone who can fill the shoes.
The reason I said it was because I think Eriksen came out earlier today and was saying Tottenham never really entered the race. They didn't put their hat in the ring. They had initial talks, but it never went past that. So I just thought, I wonder why Tottenham did. Maybe he didn't think Antonio Conte could work to his demands. We all know how hard he works his players, and Eriksen obviously having that horrible cardiac arrest last year. Maybe it just didn't work for him in this stage of his career. But I just thought it's interesting because the quality he possesses is clearly good enough to play.
Sure.
Absolutely. I agree. Kev's made a really good point. I've had it on screen for about 5 minutes because I think it's a great point. This is going back to the whole debate about, do we need a creative midfielder or a centre-back? He's saying the problem, I believe, is conceding goals. We could do with signing a top centre-back. We are an injury of Romero away from dropping out of the UCL places, and I completely agree. I really do. I think a defender, especially with Rodon going, I think we need to sign one. Ayanami saying all we need now is a Cameron of centre back with a big aerial presence. I'm never confident when we defend set pieces. Again, we conceded from a set piece against Roma. It was absolutely horrendous. And Jack, we saw it coming as well, didn't we? I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. David Clark saying 3-4-1-2. Kane behind Son and Richarlison and Kulu coming off the bench. Yeah, like that. Exactly. Who would you play up front? Who? Sorry?
I was saying, for me, I think that's a great idea, definitely for rotational games. But for me, Kulusevski, especially at the start of the season, I think he's going to be instrumental to what we do, just because he provides that creativity. And I think Richarlison started off well, especially was one of the brighter players at Roma. But I don't think we can drop Kulusevski just yet. Do you?
No, I wouldn't. I'd play Kulusevski.
I'd say let's try not to burn him out too quickly, right? He is a human, and I think that if we constantly rely on him, we up the chances of him getting injured or get some sort of muscle tightness. Kulusevski, yeah, because he's the player you want on the field all the time, creating 24/7, but you can burn him out. So I think we just need to be careful about that. And I'm glad we got Richarlison in. So, you know.
Here we go. Right, 20 minutes into the video, and we haven't even got to the main talking point yet. So let's do it now. The joys of just love this channel in terms of interacting with the people in the chat, asking the questions. We just had 20 minutes of off the cusp questions, and it's brilliant. Scores great talking points. So, guys, please do keep putting the interactive questions in. Jack, I'm going to let you sort of pilot this one. So, Spurs awards. Now, let's talk it through to the Spurs relatables. What are we doing today?
Right, guys. So today we thought quite a fun video. We've obviously got the season starting Saturday, so we thought, why not? Let's get in our predictions before the start of the season. Obviously, the transfer window hasn't finished, so that could sway some people's opinions. But we thought, as of today, what do we think is going to happen? So I'm going to run you through the list of what we're going to talk about. No particular order, but this is what we're going to talk about. So we're going to say, what position are Spurs going to finish in the Premier League? If you saw our video before, I'm sure some of you have, some of you haven't. So we're going to talk about that very briefly. Where are Spurs going to come in the FA Cup? Are they going to win a trophy? The League Cup, as always, had some relatively good rounds in recent history, making the final against Man City and the semi-final last year. Champions League, we made the final before. Can we go one step further? Or, as we know, Conte hasn't got the best record. So where are we going to finish in that? Then we're going to talk about Tottenham's Player of the Year. Who do we think is going to be the best player for Tottenham next year? Most goals. I think this one could be an interesting one. Most assists also. I wonder, guys, let us know in the thought. I know me, Andre, and James are talking on a screen, but you in the comments, guys, we'll be checking what you think. So all about opinions, keeping it interactive. So please let us know. Underachiever, who do we think that might have just not their best year in a Spurs shirt? Who do we think that will happen to? And then finally, biggest breakthrough. What player is going to really step their mark in this Tottenham scene? Make a case of being a serious player. So, yeah, that's the run through. These are the questions, about 10. And, yeah, shall we get back in, James and Andre?
Let's do it. What do you want to start?
Right, I say we start with, because we spoke about it before, what about the Premier League? Where do we think Spurs will be in the Premier League next season? And give us some reasoning.
James, you want to start this one?
I guess we kind of touched on it already with the Premier League prediction stream, but my prediction is for Tottenham to finish third, and the reason being is I don't think we're quite close enough to Man City and Liverpool at this current moment. I think, as we've discussed, we kind of one or two signings away still. It feels like a bit of a Pochettino era situation where we still need one or two players if we're going to seriously try and win the league, and that's not knocking the window so far. I just feel like it's only 80% done right now. I feel like we're not going to replace Rodon unless we do some incredible business. We've kind of gone a bit half-hearted on Lenglet. I think he'll be a good player, but also I feel like getting a loan player suggests it's not for the long term. And yeah, I just think Man City and Liverpool have too much. We saw that game on Saturday. Liverpool they were the better team against Man City. I think Haaland started slowly, but I think he'll adapt to the Premier League in a couple of months. And I just think they've got too good a squad, amazing squad depth. Our squad depth is getting there, but it's still nowhere near. And I think we'll finish above Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And I think Arsenal are probably. I said that they're going to finish, I think, 5th or 6th, but honestly, I'm a bit scared. They're absolutely tearing up the pre-season, and I know it's only pre-season, but they really have got a thing going there. So honestly, I think 3rd this season, boys. That's my honest thoughts.
I like it. What about you, Andre? Let us know. You obviously weren't in the video, neither was I. So I want to hear your reasoning, where you think we're going to come. I'm excited for this one.
You know what? Like, it might not be that exciting because I was gonna say 3rd as well, and I think, honestly, I think Arsenal's gonna come in 4th, and it's gonna be a close one. I think they're trying to make signings to make sure they keep up with us, and it's gonna be a very close one. It's gonna be one of those things where those North London derbies are gonna be crazy intense, crazier than usual because they're always intense regardless. But those will be the points that will really separate us from them. I think getting Jesus was a really good acquisition from them. They needed a striker. On our end, we've gotten a lot of players to sort of round out the team, and then a couple players that obviously just in general, like the great signings, Bissouma and Perisic, like those are players that will start a lot of times. But I just think that in general, getting that 3rd spot will show Conte that give us another season. I think progress is the key here. Every season we need to be doing better than the previous season. And there's no option here. We need to finish 3rd. We need to finish higher than we did the previous season, along with other things which we'll get to. But Premier League-wise, 3rd spot, that is my reasoning why.
I like it. Well, for me, guys, I won't spend too much time talking about it, as I'm sure James has already showed my predictions. But I think we're going to come 3rd, and I'm quite happy with that. I think that would be a massive improvement. I still think Liverpool and Man City are just that step ahead, even in the Community Shield, basically a friendly, some would argue. The quality they showed was unbelievable. I think adding Darwin Núñez, who looked like he could be a strong player for Liverpool, and obviously the golden boy, Erling Haaland, for me, it won't take him as much time as people think for him to settle in. Yes, he didn't have the best game, but when you've got that much quality, getting in the right positions, I think Haaland will just bag in the goals, maybe 20 plus this season. And I know that might be controversial for some. Spurs, for me, I'm really happy with our window. But the only thing for me is if someone told me at the start of the window, we wouldn't address our main problems, a centre-back and a right wing-back. Yes, we've addressed them, but we've brought in Spence and Lenglet. And for me, if someone told me that at the start, I'd be expecting maybe a Bastoni or maybe a more higher profile right wing back. The market wasn't as big for this, but I really think it would have been a statement to splash a lot of money on someone with the caliber of Hakimi or someone just that step below. Just because I think Spence is a very good signing, but I don't think he can come straight in and make the impact that we all want. So that's my only worry, a bit of a sceptical going into next year. But 3rd would be an amazing season. I'm sticking with that. I just think Arsenal are looking really strong. It pains me to say it, but they're building something there, and they haven't got Champions League football to worry about as well. They have got Europa League. So it's going to be an interesting season. I still think with Antonio Conte at the helm, in my opinion, definitely one of the best managers in the Premier League, if not in the world. So I think he's going to carry us through it and keep pushing. But for me, I would, in January, because I don't think it's too late now, we've got to sign another right wing back, unless Spence really tears it up and Doherty gets to the form that he was under Wolves, like peak Wolves. And another centre-back is needed. So for me, I'm always asking for more. For us, I want to keep us pushing because, let's be honest, everyone's strengthening. Look at Chelsea. Like they look to be signing Cucurella from Brighton, very strong left-back, £50 million. They could be spending 60+ million on Wesley Fofana. As well as that, I've just brought in Koulibaly and Sterling. So they're making signings. For me, I've predicted Chelsea to finish 5th just because I feel like something with Chelsea, they kind of have a lifespan on their managers. And I feel like this could be the season where it just doesn't all piece together. The owners are making a statement, but are they making the right signings? Is the squad going to gel? Because chopping and changing isn't always the best place. Because I don't want to rant too much because I'm sure we can talk about it in other videos, but getting rid of maybe Alonso, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Christensen. These are players that have been in the bulk of Chelsea for a long time. So to chop and change and bring all these players in, it could be a harder transition than people think. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about the Premier League because it's a Spurs prediction video, so I've probably waffled on a bit too much. But there you are, Tottenham to finish 3rd, and that's my reasoning, guys. So yeah, let's move on to the FA Cup.
Okay. Whoa! What was that, Andre?
Sorry.
What was that, mate? Oh no!
Sorry,
Oh,
FA Cup. Let's go.
Not nightmares.
Right, we start with. Come on, James. Tell us what's happening with the FA Cup.
Quite simply, we're gonna bloody win it, lads. We're gonna win the FA Cup.
Really?
110% sure. / I'm not. But if we're gonna win a trophy this season, I see it being the FA Cup, and the reason why is we seem to get really far in the Carabao Cup and lose the semi-final or the final. But for me, I just feel the FA Cup 1991, which was 31 years ago, was the last time we won the FA Cup, right? Surely, this is the best chance we can have of winning the FA Cup. With our squad depth getting better, with Man City potentially going out early to a surprise opposition in Liverpool, this is what I'm hoping for. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
This is a James preview on what he thinks is going to happen.
We're relying on these teams getting knocked out because can we go and beat them in a final? I think we can because we've got the man at the helm, Antonio Conte, who knows how to win trophies. But I think we need to rely on an easier run. And we did get a very easy run to that Carabao Cup final 2 seasons ago now. We had like Brentford in the semi-final. I mean, doesn't get much, kinder than that.
I think the only team was Chelsea, really. That was a struggle.
And it was on penalties. So, I mean, I think, obviously I'm not 100% confident we're going to win the FA Cup. But I think if we're going to win anything, I see it being the FA Cup. And that's just that's what my heart's telling me. My head's telling me we're probably losing in the semi-final, right? But my heart's telling me, I think if we're winning the trophy this season, and if I have to genuinely get my head like so positive that we're going to win something, I think it's the FA Cup, and that's my honest opinion.
Love it. Who are we beating in the final, James?
I think Accrington Stanley.
In the final, really?
No, maybe Liverpool, but again, like I say, we're going to beat Liverpool in the final, and it's almost like ludicrous because I'm not being funny, but Liverpool we struggle to beat. I mean, please tell me the last time we beat Liverpool. We seemed to draw to them, which was good results last season. But
last time might have been at Wembley, actually. I think
which was 2017. So I mean, 5 years ago we beat Liverpool. That's about 10 games ago. I mean.
Then again, think about the amount of draws. We've had fantastic games. I don't think it's a ludicrous thing saying that we could beat Liverpool because we certainly have the quality.
Let's see what the chat's saying before I get you guys to go through your ones. Kev said I'd give anything for Tottenham to be etched into that Premier League trophy. Cucurella and Fofana to Brokalona. Here we go. Please stop talking about Fofana. He will still be at Leicester next season. Dave's gone to Capitals. It's a great channel, lads. You deserve more subs for sure. You'll be at 2K soon. Really appreciate that, Kev. Honestly, that's the goal. Well, the goal's even higher than 2K. I can't lie, but
we're going places, James. Don't worry.
We'll finish 4th and just about edge out Man United and Arsenal, says Simply Ace. I do agree. FA Cup wins his Iron Army. I think we now have the mentality to scrape a 1-0 win over anyone, and let's hope some bigger teams are knocked out. Exactly my thoughts. My crystal ball tells me we're going to win the FA Cup. A lot of people saying FA Cup. See, I'm not the only one. Beating Man City in the semi and Arsenal in the final. Wow.
That'd be that's a dream, isn't it, lads? Imagine beating Man City, arguably the best team in Europe, and then beating arch nemesis Arsenal. Oh, don't you get me excited? And it's all up here.
Wow. I know he's saying we beat Liverpool 2-1. It felt like a win, didn't it? I don't mind beating Liverpool on a penalty shootout. Says Kev, how could you think we'll be in a penalty shootout? Oh, I don't know. We won our last one, right? But
yeah, against Chelsea, I think it was, right? It was good.
That's 2 seasons ago now. That was in COVID. Might have even been 3 seasons ago. No, it was 2. We will get to the quarterfinals. I feel defensively, we will switch off in key moments. Simply, such positivity telling people to hit the like button and you just crush our cup dreams like that. Just like that. But anyway, I'll let Iron Army. I was about to say you're Iron Army then, Andre. I'll let Andre predict his.
Come on, Andre, let's hear it.
All right, look, I've been saying for months that finishing 3rd and getting one of these cups would be an amazing season and would be the step in the right direction. I like the goals that we should have for this upcoming season. I think FA Cup would be the perfect trophy to win. More so over the Carabao Cup. I think this one has a higher prestige than the Carabao Cup. No offense to Carabao Cup winners. If we win that, I'm not going to be upset, obviously. But I think trying to go for a Premier League or a Champions League right now, we're not there just yet. Obviously, we have to go for it every game. But I think we need to enter this season with the goal of FA Cup, we're going to go and win it. You know what I mean? So if there's a match, an FA Cup match coming up, we make sure that first team is ready to go for that game. We need to win that trophy. If we cannot sit there and think that we're better than this trophy, we need to win this one. So I think this is the cup we win this season.
Wow. So we've got two, even though Spurs haven't won a trophy since 2008, we are going to win the FA Cup. 2 people have said it out of 3. And I'm going to make it 3 out of 3 because we're going to win the FA Cup this season. It's really going to happen. Guys, I am being optimistic, but as always, we do say this quite a lot. But for me, this is a different side. Under Antonio Conte and the squad depth we're building, some world-class players at our disposal, I really think this is the season we have to do it. It's not really an option. If we want to keep someone of the calibre of Antonio Conte, Harry Kane, Son, Romero, we need to be bringing in silverware. And for me, this is the best chance we're going to get to do it this season. And I think we need to do it to step on the year after. I think to keep players like this, they need to see improvement. And if we don't win the trophy this season, there's no improvement. A 4th to 3rd is good, but it's not good enough. And I think for me, the FA Cup is going to be coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this season. And I think, why do I think that? I just think we have the quality and we have the manager. And I feel like this is going to be, we're going to have a real drive to win this competition. Like, I really believe that every player knows the importance of this. And I think because of the squad, because of the 5 substitutions, we're going to be able to do it. And I'm just optimistic about this season. I'm really excited. And I feel like now is as good as time as any. And sometimes it comes when you least expect it. And this season, I feel like it's going to be our first trophy. Only trophy this season, or maybe not. You'll have to wait and see till the end of the video. But no, I'd be absolutely over the moon with an FA Cup win. Honestly, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that so far we're all in agreement here. So this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I think we're all being very optimistic. But
then it's optimistic. It's certainly not a dead set us winning FA Cup and getting 3rd in the Premier League.
Again, we'd probably be in the top 3, top 4 favourites, I think, to win it this year. I think with the manager, with the world-class players, hopefully we get a favourable draw, or maybe not. Maybe we're better off playing the big teams. But for me, now is the time.
No, and I think, we just need to be ruthless here, right? Just like I said with transfers, I think you guys were giving me slack like months ago about Bergwijn and Moura and how I was like, you know what, Bergwijn needs to go. The Leicester game, all the Leicester game has done is given him an extra 6 months, and if he doesn't perform, he's gone, and he's gone. So I think Conte will probably talk to this squad and be like, look, at the end of the day, pick a trophy. That is the one we're prioritizing here. I don't care if, Champions League will obviously give it a hard run, but if an FA Cup semifinals around the corner, I want you guys to make sure that you are nice and conditioned for that game, because that is the trophy we're bringing home this season.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I feel like Conte will be like that. For me, I think he's going to prioritise the domestic competitions. We saw how well he did at Chelsea, bringing in an FA Cup and Premier League. I feel like that's his priority, domestic and Premier League. But obviously, if he does have a fantastic run in the Champions League, that'd be amazing in itself. And I think Champions League under the lights at this fantastic new stadium are going to be fantastic, whatever round we reach. So I can't wait to see that next year. But I say we move on, lads. I say we move on to the League Cup, and let's start it off with Andre.
Perfect. So the Carabao Cup. That's
what an ugly trophy, by the way. Like, it's a nice trophy, but the ribbons, it's just ruins the whole thing. It's
and
almost like, that's what I mean. It's like making a beautiful chocolate cake and putting raisins on the top or something. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Hey man, don't start just destroying this cup right now. Sons shed tears for this. Okay,
win it. I'm doing me in my garden. Don't worry. Can't wait. I'll get a vlog. I'll go crazy. Honestly, I'll be so buzzing. But the Carabao Cup, why? Why can it not just be the League Cup with a nice white?
Because they pay a lot of money. Because it's an energy drink. There's too much money, like Red Bull.
I'd rather be the Spurs-related Cup. It just looks so much cooler. But anyway,
it could only be the Spurs-related Cup if we won it, mate. We're not going to be Spurs-related Cup sponsored to win Chelsea, are we? Do you know what I mean? We have to We have to win it to have
That's
that
the
kind
way,
of.
yeah. Well, you
Okay.
know what? I think that this is the only other trophy I could see us winning if we didn't go for the FA Cup just for this season. I think trying to go for third, beating out Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal in that Premier League, trying to go for that FA Cup, trying to make sure that we give a good run in the Champions League. It's either this or the FA Cup. I think
I can't
Conte.
win, Andre. Why?
Huh?
Why do you say we can't win both? Just out of interest. I totally understand your
Look,
reasoning.
if we win both, that's great. I just think that our defense, things like that, well, we don't have our main guys playing. We're not tip top just yet. I think there's a lot of changes that still need to be made. Obviously, we've made a lot already, but I still think there's more to be done. I think the January window might not bring as many, but we might make one or two very crucial moves that we just couldn't make this summer. I still think that Bastoni is someone that Conte is looking at for next season, because Bastoni has said that he wants to play under Conte. He's just not ready yet. Totally respect that. That's fine. He wants to make sure that when he comes in, he's ready to go. So by all means, get your games going, and we'll see you next season. I think when we have someone like Bastoni on the field, playing with Romero, playing possibly with Dyer as well, unless we bring in someone new before that, that's when we can start talking about winning multiple trophies. Realistically speaking, obviously, if we win both, I'm not going to be upset, but I think it's either or. So personally, I think the season will go for FA Cup over this, but this could be the other one we'd win.
What round are we reaching, Andre?
What round would we make it to?
Yeah.
I think we could go pretty far on this one too. Just for the fact that, again, just because that doesn't mean we're just gonna go for one, right? Like we could be going for both, but prioritizing FA Cup over this one. So possibly depending on how busy our season is, if we're still in all the cups come like later on in the season, we might make it to maybe I would say like a semifinal maybe.
Don't forget, this is an early one, so even after the first month, I think we dive straight into the Carabao Cup. So that will move me on to. So you're saying, would you say semi-finals?
I did a semi-final, but also keep in mind it really does depend on the road to get there. If we get a really hard team, like really early on in the season, we're trying to prioritize a couple of other games that are in between that game. We might just get booted out pretty early.
Okay, fair enough. So if I had to give you one definitive answer, what are you telling me? If we had to have it on paper, I've got Andre's answer here. You've got to give me one.
I'm going to go with the semi-final. I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, James, tell me, Carabao Cup, where are Spurs going to finish?
Like I said, I think we're going to win the FA Cup, not the Carabao Cup. So what round are we going to get knocked out in? I would imagine the quarterfinals. Probably because obviously we've got the Champions League and that's going to be a major focus getting out of that group stage. And I know the Carabao Cup kind of starts, I believe in it starts early. It starts in like August, but then we don't come into it till a couple rounds later, right? So, I can see quarterfinals just because purely our focus will be elsewhere and for the right reasons as well. Obviously, the FA Cup doesn't start till January because we won't go until the third round. But yeah, I think quarterfinals. I can see us losing to I don't want to say who, but I just think it might not even be a team like a Chelsea or a Liverpool or Man City. It might be a team like Leicester where we potentially don't put out a full strength team and it comes back to haunt us. And Leicester, who, let's be honest, aren't really going to be going for too much else. They're not in Europe, maybe, or maybe they are in Europe. Are they in the Conference League? No, I think they missed out, didn't they? But
yeah, you're right.
But maybe a team like that who are kind of throwing all guns blazing, I think might knock us out. I think we'll lose.
I think that's a very justified answer. I quite like it actually. Mine. Cool. I'd like to think I'm quite level-headed. I talk about things, but mine is delusion is off the charts today for some reason, because I actually think Tottenham are going to make the final and lose. I think Tottenham are going to make the final. The reason why I've said this is because I think it's an early competition. I feel like Conte would love to start the season off with a win, but I think we're just going to come short, and I think that's going to motivate us to try and win the FA Cup, which I've predicted us to win. So I think we're going to lose in the final to a Liverpool, Man City, maybe even a Chelsea. We always have horrible luck against Chelsea in finals. Not to speak about that for too much, and I'm sure that will change at some point. But I can see us losing in the final. It's Conte really wanting to winning the early rounds, putting out strong teams, getting a bit of momentum, and then hopefully getting revenge in the final, maybe against the same team. Who knows? Could be a Chelsea, could be a Man City, could be a Liverpool. Could be
See, this is interesting because I feel like losing a final is much more demoralizing than losing a semi-final.
I think it depends who you beat. I think it depends on the group of players. So, I mean, if you lose a final and you've got that close, obviously Tottenham have done it quite a few times now, sadly, but I feel like it might push you on. If you realise you've got the quality, you're there, you lose on penalties, you lose by 1 goal, you're playing better, you feel like you're building a squad. I feel like you've got to do it. I think to be one of the best teams, you've got to get over that mentality block. So for me, if we make the final and lose and then win the FA Cup, I'm not saying it'd be amazing because ideally you win both, but I think that'd be a fantastic season for Tottenham. And I could see something like that planning out. We will have to wait and see. Knowing our luck, we'll be out first round to Stevenage. So we'll have to wait.
No, I do think I agree with you. I really do think Heung-min Son would not be shedding tears for the Carabao Cup in a semifinal. He was shedding tears for a final. And I think it'd be kind of dangerous to go for a final and not fully go for it. So it really is one of those things where if we're going to be in a final,
we'll lose. Yeah. That's what I mean. We'll fully go for it. But sadly, I'm sure Spurs sides in the past have fully gone for it and fell short because there are better teams on paper at the end of the day. Just sometimes you need that winning mentality. You need those players who are going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and show that extra quality. And Spurs haven't had it in the past couple of years. But for me, this season, it can change. It's just a prediction, guys. It could be horribly wrong. I would absolutely love to win this trophy. If someone offered me a trophy and this would be it, for me, I'd probably be stupid not to take it. So,
100%. Like I said, we cannot think that we're above any of these trophies. If we win this one and not the FA Cup, I'll be just as happy. I just want to win something. Finish third, get a trophy. That's the goal.
It'll be a great season.
I just really do think that if we're picking one trophy, right, and we get to the final and we don't put out the craziness that we can, the intense Tottenham, like the best Tottenham team out there, if we don't go for it, I would think, losing a semifinal, I think James would look more upset losing a final than if we lost out on the semifinal. I'm just saying.
100% goes without saying, but I think that's in any stage of life. If you like get to the final two in anything or like tennis tournaments, any competition, I think you're going to be more gutted because you've reached all the way. But for me,
I just worry for James's heart. I think we should just go for it.
Just if I'm making a vlog on James, if I'm in the stadium making a vlog and we go 1-0 up and then we end up losing like the Euros, trust me, I will not exactly be buzzing to make the final, to say the least. Anyway, let's move on because we're going to try and wrap things up, but we've got lots of stuff to still talk about.
I've just done a quick poll in the YouTube saying which trophy do you guys think we are most likely to win? That's obviously got Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, or Champions League, guys. So do vote on that. Be interesting to see what you guys think. Do you agree with us on the FA Cup? But of course, we haven't predicted the Champions League yet. When we're all going to predict that we're going to win it. So let's hear it, Jake.
There we are. So for me,
I don't like that photo.
Am I kicking things off?
Why did you do that? Like I honestly will have nightmares tonight about this. Like the Sissoko handball hitting his arm, Harry Kane walking past, Son crying. Like why?
Like I said, guys, I worry about James' heart. So,
But then again, what kills you makes you stronger, guys. So who knows? Who knows what could happen? Could you imagine if Antonio Conte is holding the? That's what dreams are made of. That would be unbelievable.
Like you just put our viewers down all the way. Like what? Andre, you woke up and chose the savage route today. Like that is awful.
Moving on.
We need to remember the trauma so that we can just get that mentality and get in there. Like I'm just saying.
Right, I'll kick things off. I think Spurs are going to have a relatively impressive Champions League campaign, and I think Spurs are going to make the quarter-finals in the Champions League. I think we'll get through the group stages. I think under the lights at Tottenham, travelling, I think just the aura of playing against the best teams in Europe is going to be exciting, and I can see us finishing first or second in our group. Wait and see who we draw. That's going to be brilliant. I'm sure we'll have something up on our channel. James and Andre, maybe a watch-along. Oh, I quite like that, wouldn't you, James? A little live reaction to the draw. That could be exciting.
Could be good.
But yeah, I can see us finishing first or second, providing we don't get the group of death. But even then, I back us. We're a strong side, and we've been relatively impressive when we have been in the Champions League. But for me, quarterfinals this year, I think it'll be exciting. A few games under our belt, getting back into that competition. But I think there's just a few teams that might just have that extra quality, especially if we're still in with a chance of a few trophies and maybe we're competing well in the Premier League at the time. Just I see, because he hasn't got the best track record in Europe, Antonio Conte, I think the quarterfinal would be an impressive time with, yeah, I'll be happy with the quarterfinal. I wouldn't say I'll be over the moon, but and again, it's still impressive. So quarterfinal, I can imagine us getting maybe Man City getting revenge on us, or maybe Inter Milan, someone like that. So yeah, what about your thoughts, James?
I think we won't quite get to the Champions League. I think Conte, like you said, his track record isn't the best in Europe. I think he hasn't got out of the Champions League group stage. My honest prediction is I think we will make out of group stage in second, depending obviously on the group. I think we could get like a Bayern Munich maybe in our group, and we finish second behind them. Go through, and then I think we'll get a decent team in the round of 16, and then I think we might lose in the round of 16. That's my honest opinion, hand on heart.
Round of 16.
Hey, do you think, quick question, I don't want to steer off track too much, but do you think Tottenham now have the capability to beat any team around Europe, or do you think there are still teams that are just too strong for us?
Well, listen, Cole thinks we're winning the Champions League, so I'm all for it. Like, I might change my round of 16 prediction to we're winning it, because Cole seems so confident. Absolutely love it. Disliking the video, please do not do that, Alex. That would be very unappreciated. I don't even think that's the word. Take as you like, but we are going to win the Charity League Cup. A&M saying Antonio Conte will score in the final, in my opinion. Did you see how good his goals were? Champions League last 16 for David, and go to an outrageous refereeing decision. Go out for that. We usually get out of a group even if we play horrible. Simply Ace agrees with me, saying we'll get to the round of 16. And we own Man City. There you go. There's some of the thoughts of the Spurs relatable. Sorry to interrupt Andre's predictions.
All right, so I'm going to predict that we'll make it to the quarterfinals. I think getting to that spot, being in all the trophies, trying to actually win something, I think that I'd be proud of that. You know, obviously, if we win this, you know, that I would never be upset about that. But I do think that as the season goes on, the pressure's on to stay in the top four, trying to get that third spot, trying to win that FA Cup or Carabao Cup or both. We'll have some decisions to make, right? We'll have to prioritize something. Even Klopp has done it with Liverpool, where they've put out a very, very like C-level team or B-level team just to get out of it, because they have to prioritize something. You need to be realistic, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, when that moment comes, when that quarterfinal game comes around, when we make it there, because I think we are, Conte will have to make a decision on which cup we give priority to. And I really do think that he's going to sit there and talk to the team and be like, look, Champions League, we'll go for that next season. FA Cup, we're bringing it home this season. That's why I think quarterfinals, it's a proud spot to be in, you know. But other than that,
Antonio Conte will just, I could not imagine a manager of his caliber just saying, well, we're just going to prioritize this one competition because we're not going to be able to maintain our level so high and everything. Because I feel like he's building a squad that is capable of performing in any competition. So for me, he's not going to say that, but I think naturally something like that could happen. So I totally understand your reasoning, Andre.
Yeah. Again, that's why he's building the team, right? He's not saying that we're never going to get it, but we need more players before we start thinking about, let's go for that Champions League this season, boys. FA Cup, we'll see if we can get it, but the Champions League, that's what we're bringing home this season. I don't know. That'll probably be maybe next season when we bring in a couple more high caliber, world-class players.
Okay. I like it. Right. We have got a couple more to finish on, 4 or 5. So we'll get through these. These could be a bit more simple, I guess. So, James, kick us off. Who is going to be Tottenham's Player of the Year?
Harry Kane. 100%. Because Heung-min Son was unbelievable last season. Our player of the season for me. I think it's everyone's player of the season, right? Most amount of goals, just phenomenal, especially that second half where second half of the season, just scoring for fun. But Harry Kane kind of went under the radar at the start of last season, wasn't scoring many goals. And of course, it was one of his lowest scoring seasons, but his movement off the ball, what he delivers off the ball, his playmaking ability, his class. But I think Conte will want to see some more goals from Kane this season. And I think Harry Kane knows he'll set his standards high and he'll want to score more himself. So I see Harry Kane scoring, I said it on another video, 22, 23 goals this season and still getting a good amount of assists, probably double figures assists. I think this guy is going to be on fire. I think it's going to be his best ever season in a Spurs shirt. I don't know why I've got that feeling. I kind of said last season, I probably won't be able to find a video, but I did say I think Son and Kane will be more level on goals. I said I think Son will score a lot more this season, and he did. Obviously, he got Golden Boot. I think this season is Kane's turn to score more goals than Son, and I think Kane will win the Golden Boot as well. So our player of the season overall will be Harry Kane, but I think honourable mentions will go to Christian Romero, who is an absolute tank, and he's just getting better every time I watch him. And I think Son will have another good season, but I don't think it'll be at the heights it was last season.
Love to hear it. Tell me, Untitled, who is winning Tottenham's Player of the Year next season, in your opinion?
You know what? I have to agree with James here. I was thinking Son for quite a while, but the way I see it, right, Harry Kane is a dangerous man, even on like his worst day, and he is entering this season knowing what this project's all about. And thank you, Ellie. And he's probably sitting there going like, you know what, Son, I respect you as a player, but it is my time to shine again. And I'm sure he's thinking that when those crucial games come around, we need him to step up just the way that he did with that Man City game. I'm thinking, he's coming in. He's got a point to prove. He wants that player of the year back. And I think that it'll be a very nice and very beneficial competition between him and Son. And the honorable mention, of course, being Heung-min Son.
Right. Well, I like that. I'm just going to quickly cover. Ellie has said Harry Kane will score 35 goals next season and Son will get 25. So, Ellie, I really hope that is the case, especially if you're talking just in the Premier League, because that would be crazy numbers. But for me, Player of the Year, and I am going, maybe not controversial, but a bit different. I think Harry Kane is going to have his best season in a Spurs shirt. But I don't think he's going to win Tottenham's Player of the Year, because I think the reason why we're going to be so successful next year is because of our Argentinian centre-half, Christian Romero. For me, I think he's going to be our Player of the Year, just because I think the impact he's going to have on our team, providing he stays fully fit, is going to be incredible. Honestly, I think last season, as good as he was, that was the warm-up. Seeing him in pre-season, seeing how strong he is, his timing in challenges, it's just phenomenal, and I can't wait to see him play this season. I think he's going to be our best player. I think he's going to be the first man on the team sheet, and I think he's going to run through brick walls for this Tottenham Hotspur side. I can't wait to see him play. He's going to win Tottenham's Player of the Season next year, and I think the Spurs fans are going to even fall more in love with this guy, just because he's amazing. He's a brilliant ball-playing centre-half. He's strong in a tackle, and every time he's always up. Like, you see him in the pre-season, he's kicking the ball away. I'm not promoting wasting time, but he will do anything for this club, and that's what I absolutely love. And I think we need a world-class centre-back, and I feel like he is the man, and I feel like he's going to have a similar Van Dijk effect as he did at Liverpool. I feel like, and not Antonio Conte, Christian Romero has the quality to do something similar. So for me, he is the Player of the Year.
Yeah, interesting.
Romero, all right.
Romero, outside the box. I mean, I said he'd get an honourable mention, but I do not think. I don't think Player of the Season. But of course, Jack, if that's what your gut's telling you, then that's what he's telling you, right?
The reason I've gone for it is because I think with Harry Kane and Son always performing fantastic numbers. We've never had really a centre-back. Well, we've had out of Rodon, Bentancur, but that one guy who seriously gets us to that next level. The reason why I've said it is because I see Tottenham winning a trophy, maybe an FA Cup, and we haven't been able to do that with Harry Kane and Son at the height of their powers. They can't really improve on much of what they've done. But Christian Romero has the capability to be one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. And I think every Premier League club's going to see that next year. So I feel like, as a bit of a different outtake, I can see Christian Romero winning that for Spurs and winning the heart of a lot of Premier League fans. So, yeah, that's my prediction. Most goals, that moves me on to. So, Andre, tell us, who's scoring the most goals in a Spurs shirt?
Well, I think Harry Kane's going to score the most goals, to be honest. I think he's going to try and get in that box as often as he can. And even when he's not in the box, he's scoring goals. So Harry Kane all the way. I think that's our guy this season. That's all I got to say for that.
James.
Yep, agreed. Like I said, Kane, 23 goals, golden boot, no questions asked. Pretty easy one for me. I think like I said before, he's going to have an incredible season and probably his best ever.
100% agree. Harry Kane, most goals, 25 to 30 in the Premier League is my prediction. I think I think he could be the player of the year in the whole Premier League, but I've just said Romero's going to win it for Spurs. So there you are. It's quite close on that one, as you can imagine. But no, Harry Kane might have his best season in the Spurs shirt, and that really would say a lot. Okay, moves me on.
Quickly, Louis saying, I feel another signing's on the way. It'd be interesting to see if you guys think we're going to sign any more players this window. And just quickly on the poll that I did about which trophy do you think we're most likely to win, I've been keeping an eye on it. 56% of you say FA Cup, 11% Premier League, 0% for the Carabao Cup. So very much share our thoughts that people don't think we're going to win that one. And 33% have gone Champions League. So there you go.
So this is what they think we're most likely to win, or who they'd like to see us win. Which one was it, James?
That's the most likely. Which one do you think we're most likely to win?
33% think we're most likely to win the Champions League. That is brilliant.
And 56% think about FA Cup. Harvey White is very creative, has a great passing range and vision too. Says Ellie, we should play him in domestic cup comps with Bissouma holding, and he can excel and make his mark finally at our club. I'd love to see Harvey White get some more game time. I think everyone would agree with that. Son and Kane just need more service. Surely Perisic will help massively with that. Honestly, he's looked so good in pre-seasons. Perisic, just the balls he's putting in is going to be absolutely key for us next season. We've really missed out on the flanks, to be honest. Go on, Jack. Next predictions.
Right, final three, guys. So not long left. We are going to go with
Not long lay.
Not long lay. Oh, look at you. Coming up with sort of cards. Have you missed him? Anyway, most assists. Tell us. James, come on.
Most what assists?
Yes, mate.
That would be Christian Eriksen. Oh, wait, we didn't sign him.
Wow. Good one.
I kind of feel like it could be Kane as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going Kane as well. Like, when he had that season at Mourinho and he got most goals and most assists in the Premier, I can see a similar season. But
How many? Tell us.
Oh, for Spurs? Well, it's not going to be for anyone else, is it? But yeah.
I was going to say that, but I didn't think I would. Yeah.
How did you get last season again?
In the Prem, 8, was it?
I thought he got double figures in the end.
No, I don't think he did. I think the season before he definitely did, but not.
9 assists, 17 goals, which is still pretty good.
No.
I think he's going to get 12 assists.
Wow.
And 23 goals. Bang, 35 goal contributions.
Phenomenal. Anyway, so James, you're going with Harry Kane. Andre.
Kulusevski. Come on, guys. Easy answer. I think
really easy.
Whoa! Okay, debate's on. Let's have it.
Getting his shoulders
How
out.
long have you got?
I think so. That guy's always passing. He would rather pass it for a nice easy shot. So, as much as he could possibly round off goals and assists, I think he'll just get more assists. I think he'll get the most assists for Spurs. I think he'll get somewhere between 12 to 15.
Well, to be fair, that's not outrageous because he got eight assists in about 5 months. So,
yeah.
Wow. You know what, Andre? Great minds think alike. And Dejan Kulusevski is getting the most assists, in my opinion, for Spurs.
Hello.
I was playing a bit of devil's advocate, but no, 100%. I think Dejan Kulusevski's passing range, just him in tight spaces and linking with Sonny Kane, He's brilliant. I think he's going to have a fantastic year, like the rest of the Spurs squad. But I think he's really going to stand out, and he's going to get the most assists. And I agree. I think it's going to be in the region of 12 to 15. I'm not going to say something ridiculous like 20, but I can see him having a stellar season, and he's going to get the most assists.
To be fair, it was a close one. I nearly did go for Emerson Royale because I think his delivery is going to be unbelievable this season.
Okay, moving on. We're going to go with underachiever.
I lost some neurons there.
What Tottenham player? We'll get behind Emerson. Maybe he may have a stellar season. We will wait and see. He might not even be a first player, to be fair. Okay, underachiever. Who do you think is maybe not going to perform as well as everyone initially thought? Starting with yourself, Andre.
Me? Oh, well, I thought we were going to start with James. He kind of gave his answer like 2 seconds ago.
There you
are. Ooh, great. Simply Ace. There we go. Great minds think alike. Okay, underachiever. Harry Winks. No.
Oh, no.
Someone who's like, or maybe in the starting 11 or close to the starting 11, but they just won't have the season everyone initially thought. So we're not being horrible here because we're getting behind all the last. Okay.
I think
I can understand that.
I think everyone, and no one's expecting amazing things from him this season, especially with Perisic coming in. I don't know what's happening with Reguilon, but I think he played pretty well. He had a good few run of games there, and I think that this season, as he gets older, he's maturing, mentality getting stronger. I think this season will be the season where he showcases what we can expect from him once a few more seasons passes by and Perisic might get, he gets older, contract ends up. He needs to showcase that he can start, that he's the guy to look for once the older ones move along.
Wow. Okay. I think that's a very reasonable answer. Really reasonable. I like the way he looks strong this season, though. He looks like he's been putting in the hard work in pre-season, but I can totally understand your reasoning. James, underachiever.
Emerson.
Wait, when you say underachieve, I thought we were guessing who's going to surprise us.
No, we're doing that next.
Okay, I'm ahead of the gun, am I? So you don't think Sessegnon's going to do very well? Is that what you were saying, Andre?
Wait, I thought we were doing which player's going to surprise us the most.
That's what I thought you said, Jack. That's why I'm confused.
Underachiever, I promise you I did. Did you think Sessegnon's going to have a great season, Andre? I thought you said that he's someone who...
That's why I'm confused.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I did the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah, I did say underachiever. Chat, let me know, because I'm pretty sure I did. I apologize if I did.
No, you know what? I think you did. I misunderstood that. Okay.
Underachiever.
Where do we want to go?
I tell you what, lads, it's your choice. We don't have to do underachiever, but I just thought it might be an interesting outtake.
Wait, so what do you want to? What do you want to say?
I was going to say, tell me an underachiever who you don't think is going to have the best season for Spurs, but we can skip over it if you'd like.
No. How about let's do this surprised one first, since I already answered that, okay, and then we'll do underachiever after.
Go for it. Surprise one then. You've gone with Sessegnon, James.
I think the man himself, the Irish Cafu, Matt Doherty, I think he's going to have a decent season. The injury stopped him from having a very, very good second half of the season, and he really did perform. He's adapted to a 5 at the back. Obviously, under Nuno, it didn't work at right back, and under Jose, because he's playing 4 at the back, but he's a 5 at the back player. We've said it numerous times, almost the opposite to Emerson, really. And I, for me, think he's going to have a great season, and I think he's going to get many assists as well. And he's going to be bombing up and down that wing. Perisic on the other wing back. I think our wing backs are actually... Everyone says right wing back is a problem, and I do agree to an extent, but I think Doherty is honestly going to perform, and I think he's going to do a job. So that's my opinion. People can hate on it, but Doherty for me. And there you go. Look, Simply Ace has said Doherty was surprised. Alex said Højbjerg. I'm not sure if he means underachiever or overachieve.
Yes, because I did start off with underachiever. I think he means that. But... yeah, no, James, I like that a lot. And I'm very tempted to go for Doherty. But the only other one that I am thinking that is going to be someone, the biggest breakthrough, someone to make an impact, I'm actually going to go with. I was going to go with Doherty, James, but because you've gone for it, I'm going to come from a different angle. And I'm going to go with Clement Lenglet. I think he's going to have a stellar season. Watching a bit of him in pre-season, seeing his passing attributes, seeing how composed he is on the ball, I think I can seriously see him slotting in and having a great season. proving a lot of people wrong, showing his value, showing why he was a hotly tipped player at Sevilla. I think he's going to have a good season. So that's me. That's my biggest breakthrough. Maybe some would argue it's not really a breakthrough, but not many people are expecting him to be amazing. So I've gone with Clement Lenglet. Okay, so, but Doherty as well, James. I think that's a great shout. I can imagine him having a really good season as well, just because in pre-season, in that first half, he was one of the stronger players. Would you agree?
I honestly think he's a good player. It's just he didn't start well because he's playing 4 at the back. He kind of looked like a lost sheep.
Yeah, we wouldn't have said that 12 months ago. Could you imagine? And now we're seeing him as maybe probably our starting right wing back going into the season.
For me, I've seen a lot of people saying Jed Spence, but you got to remember it's like a Sessegnon situation where he's not experienced, and I'm not saying Spence can't break through and take Doherty's place, but you got to play Doherty based on the form last season he was showing before he got injured. We were gutted when he got injured, absolutely gutted.
Yep.
It was only 6 matches, but then in those 6 matches, he really did prove his worth. So, and I think it was a good. I think it was a good confidence booster. Even though he was injured, we managed to get Champions League, and now he's been looked at as a very strong option this season. So I like it. Right. Are we going to finish off with that, or would you like? I don't like doing this as much, but I thought it makes it a bit spicy. Underachiever. Do we want to end on that? What do you think, James? You tell me.
Yeah, why not? Let's do underachiever.
Right. Well, Andre, underachiever. Tell us.
Okay, so just to be clear, underachiever means someone that we're expecting to do very well but won't, or just someone who won't be performing well?
Someone that initially...
Underachieving.
Underachieving. They performed at a very good level last season, but this season they're not going to hit the heights.
Or they're expected to do well and they won't.
Okay, I got a good one.
And quickly before you do, don't say Højbjerg when Ellie's in the chat because look, she's just off.
Okay, no, I think Højbjerg's good. I would never. Don't worry.
Okay, good enough then.
I think James knows who I'm going to say. Every single manager, for some reason, wants to give this guy the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, and I quite like him, and I know who you're going to say.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know who he's going to say.
I know.
Do you want to say it, James?
No, go on.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Davinson Sanchez is going to be the underachiever. I think that see, James knew. I think that every single manager, for some reason, talks this guy up, says, he's been doing better than when he initially started. He's been putting more effort in training. But I think that every time that he gets a run of games, he ends up benched because he does some really silly mistakes. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen again. I personally think we should sell him. I'm about to go on a rant here, so I'm going to stop right there. Davinson Sanchez.
Okay. I actually thought you were going to say Eric Dyer, as Ellie's put here, and I'm actually.
No, I've been a Dyer defender for a while.
No, so am I. Actually, I think he could be someone who surprises a lot of people and has another strong year. So we will wait and see. James, tell us who's underachieving in your eyes this season.
Do you know, I had a bit of time to think, and I still haven't made my mind up.
Okay.
Because I wanted to say Davinson Sanchez, right? But underachieve means you think he's going to do well and he's not. But I know that Davinson Sanchez is going to do absolutely awful. So I can't say he's going to underachieve because he's going to do exactly what I think. And that's me being honest. I had an argument with someone on Twitter yesterday that ended up deleting their tweet because they tweeted something after England women won saying something about Davinson Sanchez. I don't get the slander. He's a class player. And I replied saying, honestly, mate, come off Twitter. You're talking absolute nonsense. He is not a good player. Like,
as bad as you make him out to be.
We've had him for 4 seasons, and he's had about 3 good games. We need to stop being this club where we go, yeah, he does play well sometimes. I mean, if we said that about every player, we'd still have Harry Winks in the starting 11, and we did last season for some games. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
My only argument.
Don't make me go on a rant because I'm not being fun. I'm genuinely not being funny. If we want to settle for mediocrity and just go, yeah, these players can turn up, give him a chance. They're professional footballers, for goodness sake.
So he's not good enough to be in the squad.
He's certainly not good enough to be in the starting 11 for sure.
Not good enough to be in the squad.
No, he shouldn't be. We should be upgrading these players. This is what I'm
Yep.
trying to say. We should be getting rid of these players and getting better players. Okay, if we get to the end of the window and we go, okay, Davinson Sanchez is probably one of our better defenders from the bench. You go, well, we haven't really done a full bit. We haven't done full business. We should be upgrading these players. That's the whole point. You know, we've got these players like Harry Winks, Davinson Sanchez, and Ndombele, Lo Celso in the squad. Okay, Lo Celso looks like he's going to Villarreal. Not sure about Ndombele, but then I've seen videos on YouTube of people going, should we give Ndombele a second chance? Second chance? He's been about 700 chances. The guy doesn't deserve a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, or seventh chance. He is as good as gone for me. And then they go for Davinson Sanchez. Yeah, he had a great game against whoever it was last season. One game. I'm not being funny, right? If you played for Tottenham, right, and you be honest, and you weren't playing every single game at the best of your ability, and it's a good standard, do you think you deserve to be there eating up your 60k a week or whatever he's on? Absolutely not. We can't keep like patting these people on the back and going, you know, oh, it's all right, Davinson. You know, we know you can be good. It's absolutely ridiculous.
No, see, look, you've just proven my point, right? Because you're saying a lot of people expect good things of him. So there you go. Thank you for proving my point.
I think there'll be other people, maybe Davinson Sanchez advocates, that may disagree. But then again, and after your reasoning, James, I think that's a great point, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with you. But
I mean, the guy deleted his tweet because about 4 people liked my reply. I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks Davinson Sanchez needs to go.
I think he's good enough.
Harry Winks needs to go. Emerson has got 6 months, or he's gone in January.
I think he's a good enough backup right centre. I'm going to put my 2 pennies in there and just say, for me, no way is he good enough to start. But as a backup, I can see him being suitable for another season. But anyway,
why didn't we get Sven Botman, who Newcastle snapped up like that, as a backup? Sven Botman, proven.
No, I agree. We need another centre back. 100%. Anyway, James, I didn't even actually get your underachiever unless it's Davinson Sanchez.
Because that's what I'm saying. That's why I went on the rant, because you can't say it's Davinson Sanchez because we expect he's going to have a mare. I mean, look at Irish Hotspur. He calls him GPS Sanchez because he doesn't know where the ball is. I mean, how can you want a centre back that doesn't know where the ball is? It's spot on.
Well, see, I'm going off of the fact that a lot of people, maybe not you, maybe not me, but a lot of people keep giving him the benefit of the doubt. The media, Conte in his interviews are saying, oh, he's getting better. He had a run of games at the end. Yeah, sure, he put in some good performances. But in the long run, he always ends up benched because he continues to make the same mistakes with the ball watching, the bad positioning. I'm done with him. So to me, he's the underachiever, and a lot of people are going to see him. For
very short points. Less.
Just one more point. If we don't get rid of these players in the next 6 months, year, even less than that, this window, some of them, we'll get nothing for them because their contract will expire. They'll go on a free and they'll go to like a championship club or a French league club where someone who really needs a player that's really mediocre will go for them. If we don't try and sell these players now, like Ndombele, we spent 50 to 60 million pound on this guy, and we're going to get about 7p. I mean, it's ridiculous. Sorry, boys, I'm off on one now.
Ndombele doesn't deserve a fourth chance, James.
It's absolutely unbelievable. I genuinely saw someone title a video. I'm not naming who they are. Does Ndombele deserve another chance? Does he fuck? Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, well, we have.
I wanted to not go on a rant, and then James.
Very passionate opinions, and to be honest, I think rightly so.
Okay, so who's your underachiever, James? You didn't answer.
Okay, I think I almost agree with you in Sessignon, but I don't know.
It's harsh, isn't it? Whoever you choose, because.
Being honest, but based on what I've been saying for the whole summer and when we signed him and Jack, you trying to convince me on him and everything else, this might sound controversial. I think Richarlison. I'm still not convinced it's the right signing, and that's a huge call. But as much as I want to be positive about this signing, I'm going to be the different one on this channel and say I don't think Richarlison is going to be that good for Spurs.
Okay. Is that this season or in general? Just so I know.
I just think everyone will get on his back because he's 60 million. There'll be a huge expectation. He'll probably throw a strop that he doesn't play every game because he's got a bit of an attitude problem. It'll probably end up being a bit of a Dele Alli situation in a way, maybe not quite that, off a cliff, but I just don't think he's going to come in and score that many goals. It's my honest. So technically, that's underachieving because he's come in to take the weight off Kane and Kulusevski, and hopefully he does. But you've asked me the question. I think he's going to be the one that underachieves.
Okay. You know what? That is a really good answer because honestly, at the end of the day, you don't have to be a horrible player or a bad player to underachieve. It's just the expectations you have, right? He's a $60 million signing, and yeah, I agree with you. That's a good one.
Right. Well, I think that's totally understandable. And I was thinking about going with Richarlison, but because I've been quite the Richarlison advocate, I think he will have a decent season. So I'm not going to go with him. Mine is, I'm not quite happy with my answer, to be honest with you, because I feel like it's a bit harsh. And I don't really like doing this type of stuff because I hope I'm massively proven wrong. But I do feel Jed Spence might not live up to the expectations straight away. I feel like he might need a year to bed in. I feel like he needs to learn the trade, learn the Premier League. I just think he might find it tougher. Just might need to build up physically like we've seen with Sessegnon. And I don't think he will have maybe the expectation that all of us hope he has straight away. But I really hope I'm proven wrong because we saw how good he was in the Championship last season. And he's definitely got the attributes to be a top player. But I feel like it's going to be harder to come straight into that starting 11 and nail down that starting spot. So the reason I'm saying underachiever is because I think a lot of people have it in their mind that he's going to come straight in the starting 11 and be a real force down that right-hand side, which he does have the capability to do, but I don't think it's going to happen just like that with a click of a button. So yeah, I think that's it, guys, for the video. And yeah, it's been a longer one. We've had a lot of nice reviews here, lots of different opinions. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it, to be honest, catching up with you, Andre, who we haven't seen for a while because you've been a busy man. But yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a great video, and I think we've had some great talking points.
I'm really happy I was here to see James's Davinson Sanchez rant. I feel vindicated. That was great.
Yeah,
I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. Don't even get me started again, honestly. Look, I've had enough of people on Twitter telling it. I'm going to search Davinson Sanchez after this just to tell people to just grow up. You can't keep patting these players on the back. They get paid more in a week than I get paid in about 7 years. Like, come off it. It's ridiculous. Honestly.
All right. Let's
get behind the boys.
I'm not getting behind him because he should have been gone. But there we go. Like, I'm actually getting flustered about this.
Okay, give him a chance, James. It's okay.
How many chances does he need, though? This is my point.
If he's in the squad and Antonio Conte likes him, for me, he obviously deserves that opportunity. I think there's a lot of players in this squad right now that they're eating into Tottenham's wage and they're not good enough. I think Sanchez is not quite in that bracket just yet, but I totally see where you're coming from. Right. Well, it's been a great video, James. So yeah, you wrap it up, mate.
There you go. And Simply Ace made a point. Our most expensive signings have been our worst, and Ndombele, Sanchez, Lo Celso. Exactly my point. Come on, James, it's Sanchez season, but honestly, I'll come back to this video and make a formal apology if Davinson Sanchez rips it up next season. I will apologise within 10 games if he plays really, really well, and I'm like, well, this was a bad opinion, and he has taken his 7th chance, then fine. But I'm sorry, I'm going with what my head is saying, and that is we should have upgraded. And we've been saying it. We've all been saying it for a while. Yeah. It's just like we're getting to the start of the season. We're like, oh, yeah, maybe it's Sanchez's season. No, it wasn't Sanchez's season in 2018, 19, 20, 21, and it won't be in 22. So that's my thoughts, and that's Davinson Sanchez.
We'll see. Davies, right? Davies was the butt end of the joke in this podcast for months. Paper over the cracks, and now he has a new contract, and he's good. So we'll see.
Honestly, time will tell, lads. Time will tell.
Anyway, there we go. We've ended it on such positivity about Spurs. But don't forget, we're going to get 3rd and an FA Cup, guys. So it's all good. Thank you so much to everyone that watched throughout the whole video. Likes of Simply Ace, the likes of Ellie, the likes of Alexander, the likes of Ayanami, and all the other guys, Louis, David as well, for your comments. Really appreciate them as always. Thank you so much to you guys that joined. And of course, special mention to Carl, who thinks we're going to win absolutely everything. But guys, Jack, thanks for hosting that little segment on the predictions, mate. Hope you enjoyed it.
Anytime. Loved it as I always do.
Andre, good to see you, as Jack said, and the Spurs related balls really did seem happy to see you back. So nice one on that, guys. Before you do leave the stream, please do just hit the thumbs up button. It's completely free to do so, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, there's going to be lots of content this week, including, of course, that vlog that Jack's going to provide for the Southampton game. So plenty of content to come up. Make sure you turn on the notification bells, hit the like button, and guys, remember, as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Davinson Sanchez out.